We sometimes report good things or bad things from different countries around the world, and we recently reported on the great decision in the United Kingdom from the BBC to stop doing the 50-50 false equivalency controversial storyline on climate change. There is nothing really controversial if you look at the science of climate change, and BBC decided very proactively, we are not going to present it as such. By the way, CNN could probably take a little bit of a guide from that. Fox News could take some guidance from that, MSNBC, etc. We have another good thing coming to us from the UK, which is that in an attempt to check religious extremism in public schools, the British Education Secretary, Nicky Morgan, said that schools that teach biblical creationism would be refused government funding. And in a statement delivered in Parliament, Morgan condemned the preaching of religious views within British public schools. This is a quote from the British Education Secretary. There has been no evidence of direct radicalization or violent extremism, but there is a clear account in the report of people in positions of influence in these schools with a restricted and narrow interpretation of their faith who have not promoted fundamental British values and who have failed to challenge the extremist views of others. Brilliantly put, succinct, accurate, salient. However, if you present that same statement to many of those who want religion in school, religion in government in the US, they would say, oh no, Lewis, she's wrong when she says that the fundamental values don't include this because the US is a Christian nation, and they will say that until they are blue in the face.
The same is true over there. It's kind of nice to know that we're not the only ones struggling with this type of thing. There's certainly plenty of fundamentalist nuts over there as well.
The Secretary of Education also connecting biblical creation to radical Islam. This is a comparison, an equation that has made a lot of people very, very angry. The reality, though, is that we're talking about shades of gray. And in the US, just have them, anybody who's upset about this comparison in the UK, come to the US and you will very quickly see that the types of restrictions that the religious right wants to impose on individuals when it comes to the imposition of prayer or religious teaching in public or involved in government, restricting LGBT rights, restricting abortion access, etc., etc. This is the same type of mentality that exists in Muslim theocratic states and regimes. So you can argue about the degree, you can argue about whether, well, Christianity used to be more violent, now it's Islam that's more violent in its physical sense. You can have those shades of gray, but there's definitely something salient, Lewis, that needs to be looked at in that equation.
Regardless of beliefs on either side in either religion, when you boil it down, the methods of indoctrination on the young and on those who are susceptible to it are exactly the same on both sides.
The U.S. needs to pay attention to this. Unfortunately, if a lot of people in the U.S. started paying attention, their only conclusion would be that Britain is evil. So that's sad. Let's take a break. Great program for you today, including a great interview with Dr. Gad Saad.